lying. I felt that that had been done to me for so many years. And I was watching it in real time happen to someone else. And I didn't think he deserved it. And it made me think, I can't do this anymore.
Finally, Nicki Minaj answers to her fans. In this sit-down, she discusses the LGBT community, her stance on trans kids, immigration, really hot button topic there, who is the king of rap, her future album, and more. You're watching Team Ownership. Here's the clip.
Have you ever spoken with President Trump?
I have. During the last campaign, I spoke to him briefly. I forgot exactly what they said when they called. Oh gosh, I forgot. But I remember saying I wanted to ask him some questions, and he got on the phone. He was very easy to talk to, and polite and all of that. And I asked him a few questions, because I said, with me, everything I do, I have to take an account for my fan base. And so I had recently been seeing a couple things circling online, and I just wanted to confirm with him directly. And I said, do you have a problem with the LGBT community? And I asked him if he had a problem with the Jewish community. And I asked him about women's rights. And he gave me wonderful answers to all of them, to where I knew that he respected me and he respected my fan base. And it was very thoughtful questions and just honest. And that's the thing with him. He just is an authentic human being. It didn't feel like he was making up an answer or trying to, make something that was going to sound good. It sounded like he really answered the question as if he and I were best friends, from 25 years ago. It made me feel comfortable. But at that time, I didn't come out and endorse him. I wish I did, though.
What is some of the policies in California, given you've spent a lot of time there, that makes you think Gavin Newsom is Gavin Newsom? Is it the mass amount of illegal immigration and tax dollars being spent for illegal and healthcare? Is it the failure to rebuild homes in the Palisades? Is it just pro-trans ideology and pushing that on kids in schools? What stands out the most to you?
And I'm glad you asked that, because I want to make it clear. I personally don't have an issue with the trans part of the LGBT at all. I am the biggest advocate for adults being able to do whatever the heck they want to do. They're adults. I don't care. I only mentioned something because when it comes to children, I wouldn't even allow my 17-year-old daughter to get breast implants. Neither, and most 99% of the parents would not let their 17-year-old child get breast implants. So if you wouldn't let a child get breast implants, you're not going to want them to have any kind of surgery, because we all know the brain is not developed. And we've heard about 19 times more likely to commit suicide. What more do you need to know? That a child is 19 times more likely to commit suicide if they have a surgery before they're an adult? So I just wanted to make that clear, because of course I don't judge adults with they can do whatever they want. With
this country, when you were little as an immigrant, what are your thoughts on the Trump administration's approach to illegal immigration and deportations?
Well, if I had a business or a home or anything, and someone was there one day when I walked downstairs to cook breakfast or something, I would have them kicked out of my home because I didn't invite them. And this is my private home. So the president has to treat the United States as if it's his private home. people all around the world have to respect the policies of the country and the administration. Therefore, to my immigrants, who I love very much, I love my immigrants, I'm an immigrant. But how can you tell a president not to enforce a law that simply says you have to be legal to get in the country? Now, what people don't understand is there are spies. There are things that we don't know about, but that the administration and that security knows about. People who have to secure the country. So a person coming in illegally to the country, they could be there to do anything. You do not know. They have to be vetted. There's nothing wrong with that. It would be so stupid of any country to have an open door policy where people are not vetted. You don't imagine having somebody that you do not know in your home and you don't know anything about them. We do background checks for everything. You don't think there needs to be a background check to get in the country? So, I don't know. That may have come off too harsh, but
I think it was a good explanation. You could have been harder.
Okay.
How has illegal immigration impacted the Black community specifically?
Well, African Americans have finally decided, find somebody else to do it. That's why they're not protesting, okay? They finally decided that they are not going to be anyone's pawn in these political games anymore, in this political theater, the political theatrics. They're not going to be bothered. They're going to be at work or at home or, creating. And that's that. And I'm very happy because where's the money? Where are the billions of dollars that was stolen? Okay? Because guess what? The people who work hard and pay taxes, they have a right to know. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no more distracting people. Everyone is smarter than that. And I think that's where African Americans stand right now, is that they're not going to keep on speaking for people who every time they get in office, they completely forget about them, and they just use them, every 4 years. Mm-hmm. Find somebody else to do it.
You called for Don Lemon's arrest. You called for Don Lemon's arrest over his church stunt in Minneapolis. He's since called you racist, unhinged, homophobic, and out of your depth. Anything you'd like to say to Don Lemon?
Cocksucker, stop.
The entire world is currently going through a fertility crisis. I think everything except sub-Saharan Africa. Mm-hmm. Do you think more women should be getting married and having babies? Do you think more women should be encouraged to have babies? What does that mean for someone like you who has a stable family unit and preaches about how lovely and great it is to be a mother?
Well, yes. I think it makes women and men happy. I think it's a good feeling, because the thing is, I don't think people realize being married, and it's not just a spouse, it's like a best friend too. Like that person that you get to talk their ear off and about everything.
Got a captive audience.
And they can't tell you, shut up. They just gotta sit there. But then you end up getting advice, and you can use it as a soundboard, I guess, in a way to hear, what would an average man think about, what I'm about to say or do or whatever. So, I don't know. I feel like it kind of has been getting a bad rap lately, as if, no, we don't want to settle down. And I don't think you have to settle down, but I just want people to know it's a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful thing. You guys don't have to run from it, run to it.
I agree. So you're undisputably the queen of rap. Who do you think is the king?
God is the king.
There's not a woman in hip hop who hasn't been compared to you. What's the worst part and the best part of being the standard?
I don't think there's a worst part, because it's such a blessing to be given that title. But, well, I'll say the best part is having the best fan base in the whole world who always have my back and support me.
In this new phase where you've spoken out a lot about your personal beliefs, your fan base has really stood beside you and grown. What does that mean to you as your fans have come along for the ride?
I can't even begin to explain how grateful I feel. I never would have been able to predict this part of my life happening, but having my fans along for the ride makes everything worth it in the end, you know? So it doesn't matter what I have to deal with. Knowing that they still love and support me, it just makes everything feel like home, like perfect, like comforting.
Would you ever consider using your platform to enter politics?
Yes, I've already entered.
What's it been like for you since you've entered? How has your label reacted?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to them.
And this is where I'd like to jump in with my commentary. What if this Nicki Minaj Trump administration alignment has nothing to do with these hardcore political beliefs that she holds, but what if it just comes down to things such as label disputes? We know she has those, personal beefs, rap beefs, her unique position as an immigrant, but not only an immigrant, but an immigrant that is married to a registered offender. Go ahead and like the video and please comment. What we saw was the Democratic Party making Cardi B the darling of the moment during the Biden administration. What if this is an extension of that? And if so, I think it's pretty historical that rap beef creates these political battles. I'm not sure if we've seen that in the past. It's possible that she's aligning herself with a figure that she sees as powerful and aggressive to the point where she has the best chance to protect herself, the best chance of going over the heads, so to speak, of the label. Because think about it. She's an artist on a label. Within that dynamic, the label is more powerful. But who's more powerful than that? And I don't think it's a coincidence that all of this is coming on the heels of the most aggressive acts that we have seen from this administration, including the kidnapping of the leader of a whole sovereign nation, okay? ICE actually having casualties. This is a person hitching her cart to the administration for gain, to protect herself, but likely for both. The more she shares, the more I can see it's really not about policy or action, but rather alignment with a specific person who happens to be the sitting leader of the country. Let me know what you think down in the comments. You've watched Team Ownership. Thanks so much for being here.